What's up, everybody? Mig Toshi here, host of the Beyond Blogs podcast, and we are coming at you today with episode number 5, recorded in Denver. And so we've got a couple of great guests for you. We're going to talk about the book of Ethereum. We're going to learn about students' roles in the blockchain world and how universities are getting them plugged in and what projects are doing to bring these students along the journey. So check it out. Let us know what you think. Like, comment, share, and enjoy the episode. Cool.
That's good. Let's start.
All right. What's up, everybody? Miggy Crypto here, Mig Toshi on X, and we are back again at ETH Denver at the new Builder City. This is the Beyond Blogs podcast. We've got some new guests for you, and you already know I've got the best co-hosts with me. I'll go ahead and let the man introduce himself so y'all know who he be.
Yeah, y'all know who it is. If y'all don't know, you about to know now. It's Double O Tats, the Black James Bond with the tattoo gun, representing Bitcoin Cash, about to take over the world.
Yes, sir. And so today we've got some awesome guests for you today. We were going to let them introduce themselves, and then we'll get started and talk about what's going on. Go ahead.
All right. So my name is Eli Dubitz. I'm a student at Purdue University. I'm part of Boiler Blockchain, which is our flagship blockchain club. We've got a ton of things planned for Denver. We can kind of go into it a little bit, but 60 people, Gemini sponsorship, and super glad to be here.
You said from Purdue?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Purdue,
Indiana.
baby.
Okay, yeah, I'm from Indiana too.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I was living in Anderson.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Then.
Yeah, so hi everyone. My name is Colin, and I work for the project called Book of Ethereum, located on Ethereum. I'm also partially still a student at KU Leuven, Belgium, Brussels. So hi everyone.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks, guys, for your time. Appreciate y'all booking the slots and joining us on the show. Super excited to hear about what you guys got going on, especially, being involved with the schools and everything like that. And so, again, we are here. This is day 2 of ETH Denver, and I've been loving it. So let's ask, how's your experience been? Is this your first time? Is this your 8th time? What's going on with you here?
Yeah, so this is actually my second time here, and it's funny because the shift between last year and this year is definitely dramatically different.
Yes.
In both good and bad ways. Last year, regarding the student, we brought 8 students, and because Purdue's a very STEM-oriented school, so we participated in the hackathon, and it was over $1 million in prizes.
Cool.
And so then this year, we brought 60 students, 58 hackers, 20 teams. And we just went all out. So, Gemini, the exchange, is sponsoring us.
Awesome.
And then we have a hacker house, and the hacker house is it's imagine a podcast like this, but just 24/7, and everybody's just constantly talking, working, music, and so
Hacker
I'm
house.
loving it so far. I think it's a different type of vibe. It's smaller, it's more concentrated, but that's not always bad.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. How about for you?
Well, yeah, for me it's my first Denver.
Cool.
I've been mostly around in the Europe Ethereum events or Bitcoin events, and so yeah, my first time in a really big US event. I kind of like it. Yeah, I heard there are a lot of changes from past years. There's a new venue I heard, and yeah, I feel like it's a bit more bullish focused this year, especially with the current market conditions.
Right.
I feel like a lot of people last minute kind of dropped out, and the only real valuable builders are here, and it's great to network with them. So you meet only the serious projects, serious people, and yeah, I've been getting the vibe, and I really like it. So all good.
Yeah, it's been
Hell
legit.
yeah.
I mean, we've been holding it down. This is my 5th year, I believe. And yeah, honestly, it's a little bit different from last year. I love the new Build a City that they've made, and I do like it being a little bit more concentrated. I'm a big fan of the smaller events, and so I hope this is a sign that we're just getting a little bit more intentional, and not declining in attendance. But we've got our man Double O Tats here. He's been new to the space,
Yeah, it's my
holding
first
it down
time.
for Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
how are
Yeah.
you loving it, man?
Man, it's a great experience for me because I've never been around as many crypto people in general, period.
Yeah.
So to be around as many people that know about crypto, that I can learn from about crypto, it's a good feeling, and to be able to, represent Bitcoin Cash in the process, you know what I mean? People looking at me like I'm kind of crazy, like they think I'm an OG in the game, you
Yeah.
know? But really, I just got here last year.
I know. Yeah, a lot of people are like, what's Bitcoin Cash?
Yeah, that
oh,
too.
man,
When
this
did
legacy.
you get into crypto?
I got into crypto back in June last year
Okay.
when Ken Bozak, the host of not another Bitcoin podcast,
Yep.
he paid me in Bitcoin to do a tattoo for him. And right then and there, I was like, okay, let's go. Like, you know what I mean? And he paid me to do a tattoo party at his shitcoin conference after party.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. And I ended up getting tipped by Calypsy Cash. He's the CEO or the creator of the Sling wallet, the Bitcoin Cash wallet. And once he tipped me that Bitcoin Cash, it just kind of just started a whole, train, for sure.
Yeah, it's been awesome seeing him
Yeah.
work. So pretty much what he's been doing is building the community up by getting sponsored by Bitcoin Cash and giving out free tattoos of Bitcoin Cash.
Amazing.
And he's done like 70 so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
Creating certificates, putting them on chain as NFTs on Bitcoin Cash as well. So like I said, from nothing, no crypto within this less than a year to, being one of the biggest ambassadors for Bitcoin Cash. Legacy group. Shout out to community.
sure,
We love
for
you
sure.
guys. Real Bitcoin or not, you guys are doing the dang thing. And so I guess why don't you tell us a little bit about like what you guys are doing here?
Yeah.
What kind of work you're involved with?
Yeah, so I'm the president of Boiler Blockchain,
Cool.
and like bringing 60 students is definitely a big ass project. Mainly just because like there's a lot of coordination involved. And speaking like what we just spoke about, kind of like getting into crypto. It's not something that most students are like inclined to join because they kind of hear like Bitcoin is really all they know, and then they hear like Trump
Yeah.
or very like intimidating terms that are not very friendly.
Right.
So it's been we've been preparing for this. Like the main focus is the hackathon, and so we've been preparing for this for like almost 2.5 months.
Cool.
We expected a way higher prize pool, which is like, but regardless, I mean, we've been working with a lot of sponsors like Gemini, Mission Squad.
Sweet.
Shout out Mission Squad. They're kind of like an AI agent platform to kind of help us. Anthropic is giving us credits, and so like the main goal is just to have all of our students like literally just throw themselves in a Web3 environment, even if you don't know what's going on, just hack, learn, meet people, and then we're actually doing, I forgot to mention this, but we're doing a student side event, and like,
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, I'm
the
signed up for
mixer.
that.
hell yeah.
The mixer?
Amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
student mixer.
I got invited. The little shorty invited me. Yeah, for
Amazing. So yeah, it's gonna be over here
Cool.
on Friday.
Okay.
And it is so like every single student's gonna be there, but I and like our entire team has really pushed for like a lot of the industry to come as well.
Cool.
Because I think like the next generation of talent is just like the emerging talent. Like,
Right.
Of course.
Yes.
Especially
Yeah.
I think with emerging tech like blockchain, whether that's like the DeFi side or the developer side. If you lean into the youth, they kind of they have a better feel of like, I hate to say it, but like meme coins are sometimes trendy,
Right.
and trends move fast, students move faster.
Right.
Yeah.
No, and I like that, and I agree. I've been doing crypto stuff since 2011, so I'm like my 15th year.
Right.
Uh,
And so
Oh,
you've got
shit.
the wisdom though. Like,
And
Yeah.
the thing that I've seen as the biggest problem, even since all this time, is that it's great to see the development work that's happened. The evolution from 2009 to now, the adoption. But the reality is, it's still slow moving. The adoption really isn't there, and the development that we need isn't really there. And I've always been a big firm believer that it's because we're the wrong generation to do it. Like we're doing great, we're building cool stuff, but it's not, like you said, the next generation honestly are going to be the innovators, and that's what we need. We need more young minds, more students, more high school students and students in college, students in high school, to start being interested in this. Because as far as I've seen, personally, I mean, I have a big family. I have like 9 nieces and nephews. None of them care about Bitcoin, blockchain. None of them.
Yeah.
I've talked to a lot of people of that age. Demographically, very small interests, of people in that age group, in college students, high school, who really don't care about Bitcoin, blockchain, because
Right.
there's really no incentive for them to care about, because the way that the marketing, the targeting is more like, hey, you buy coin, number go up, you make money, and it's cool, But the thing is, again, we need that innovation, and it's not going to come from us. I've always been a believer that my generation, our generation, those of us who have been in crypto, who started the foundation of it, we're not going to innovate it the way that we need to where we get true mass adoption, true users, and that's been a problem. And you see it, in the declination of these big events, in the less participation of these conferences. There's not really new people coming in, and there's not really young minds coming in, and we need that if we want to progress and grow, to have a global functionality, a global society, global economy. So I appreciate that work you're doing, and it's much needed. And funny enough, so shout out to one of our sponsors. They've been holding it down for a place to stay, Blockchain Legal Institute.
They're based out of Maryland. They work with the Maryland Blockchain Association, and they actually are doing an event coming up in July based on, it's going to be a little bit smaller, a little bit more high level, but their target is students. They're looking for sponsors who want to teach stuff and run a course to have student activations. They're working with the college out there as well, so they're going to be hosting it at the university, or one of the universities out there. And so currently they're trying to find sponsors that want to come teach stuff to these students, provide lunches for them, and again, invigorate this age group, because that's where we need it. We need people like y'all to learn this stuff, because we're a lot of brilliant devs in this space, but they're just, again, it's the young, fresh minds who are going to come up with something that we have not even thought of. And that's where we're lacking, 100%. So yeah, they're actually going to be our next guest after this episode. So yeah, I'd love to get you plugged in and connected to all that and stuff like that.
I seriously think at this event, it's like, yes, meet people, but genuinely your next co-founder, your next intern, your next partner, like you said, like the youth will be the future, Brian Armstrongs, the future CEOs of these massive companies. I mean, you take a look at I don't know, Facebook. Like Mark Zuckerberg was super young, and then
19.
he just understood what a college environment needs.
Yep.
And then he built it, and then it's the next biggest thing. Obviously, that's a 1 in a billion chance, but I don't
But it's
think
the reality, though.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think the 50-year-old Mark Zuckerberg is going to build the
Right.
college,
Exactly.
system.
Yeah, I agree.
Exactly.
Exactly.
100%.
And so yeah, the Book of Ethereum. Yeah, let us know.
Talk
What are you
about
doing here,
Yeah.
man? What you got going on?
So yeah, I'm doing the community management of Book of Ethereum.
Cool.
So to give people an idea, Book of Ethereum was founded in 2024, April 2024. So we've been live for almost 2 years. The crazy thing is, though, it was founded by like 3 anonymous dudes who we don't know who they are.
Cool.
Like a bit like the Bitcoin
like
mystery.
Satoshi, that's very Satoshi.
Yeah. So we don't know who they are. They're very trustworthy, though, but we don't know who they are.
Cool.
And they launched an ERC20 token called Boo. That was all it began with.
Wow.
And from there, it was like, hey, so we're gonna let the community lead this movement. They had like a kind of vision of building this massive Ethereum community,
Yeah, that's cool.
bring finance to DeFi and everything. But they don't want to take the leadership into it because they feel like community should build the movement.
Yeah.
So from there, we built a community, which is around now, we have like around 10,000 people in our community.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we have been growing a lot over the
That's
last
great.
Across Europe?
Yeah.
fully internationally, like everywhere in the world, like we're very spread out actually.
Cool.
So we have also a lot of cultures combined. So in the past 2 years, we've been building a lot. We're building a 3 token ecosystem where we will have future staking for. We have an NFT collection that is also staking.
Cool.
We have a bunch of community projects such as our own merch, like Ethereum merch, really
Oh,
cool. We have also built CodeQuill, a platform for developers where they can verify their code on chain, so that when people try to steal their IDs or there is no clarity about who's written what, that platform clarifies everything. Next to that, we have also been working on an app right now that will help onboard people into Ethereum. Well, like what you've been saying, like in today's world, it's still too difficult for to onboard the masses, basically.
Right.
We've been very developer focused, and that's very important, I think. But in that way, we're never gonna onboard like the billions that we've been talking about. Like I would
Right.
say the normies, but like your neighbor, like the
Yeah.
guy from the grocery store.
Your everyday
To bridge
average
those people
user.
finance into blockchain and to let them feel useful and safe and all these things, you have to build a very good onboarding layer. So that's also what we've been helping with, because we feel like the Ethereum Foundation can't do everything alone. So we're very supportive towards them, and we're building our own thing next to them. So yeah, that's what we've been doing. And we're now at eDenver to speak with a lot of our partners and
Cool.
build further relationships, to have people on our app also, to host conferences with people in the future all over the world.
Sweet.
And yeah, bring blockchain to everyday normal users and help scale the whole movement.
Cool. Well, then, this event might be of interest to you too. After the show, I'll get y'all some information, and then again, the
Yeah,
next
100%.
guest is going to be the one hosting the event.
100%.
The sponsorship is pretty reasonable, and what they're looking for is like some serious sponsors, kind of like what you guys are doing. People to come in that want to run a course and teach something and have an activation, not just sponsor and be there or sponsor and talk. Do something so the students can participate. So when they leave that event, they have done something, learned something, walked away, with some new knowledge, some new app, some new activation. They want to put it in the students' hands and get them going. But that's great. No, I love to see that. Ethereum has been foundational to the space. Very necessary, after Bitcoin's inception, Ethereum really led the way. Smart contracts, all the cool stuff that we're able to build and do, and institutionally very heavily used. So honestly, it took me a while before I started using ETH. I wasn't the biggest fan at first because it was not very easy to use.
No, but that's what I agree with. I mean, like, a lot of very smart people were early in Ethereum, and
Yeah.
it kind of stayed like community closed with developers for most. But they always said like Ethereum should be for everyone,
Yeah.
and it should be accessible for everyone. But I kind of feel like that's not really where we are at yet. So we're trying to scale that up and make it accessible actually for everyone and
Yeah.
safe for everyone.
What do you think makes it closed or like semi-closed at the moment?
Well, I think like just like the way they are like putting all the information out, just the way they move in the space is so developer focused.
Right. Yeah.
And not I mean, like the way I entered the ecosystem as a non-developer was very hard for me. So I want to make that easier. And I
Right.
feel like there are a lot of ways we can do that. And in that way, we can onboard people for what Ethereum actually was made. To get people, to get businesses, to get people's ID onto Ethereum, give them an alternative from the banks, and really, let their creativeness out and let them build a lot of great stuff. So yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, that was kind of my issue when I first got involved. Like, I didn't really mess with Ethereum too much. Whenever like the smart contract came out, NFTs, I didn't really, because I don't develop and stuff, and so it was a little kind of it seemed a lot harder to get involved. So like I mean, like I said, 15 years in space, I didn't really start doing stuff on ETH till like 10, 11 years in.
Yeah.
Especially when it came a little bit easier.
Yeah, I want to pick on that part because talking about how hard it was to get into the crypto space as a developer.
Yeah.
I got into the crypto space as a marketer, and it
Yeah.
was like super easy for me. Like, you know what I mean? Because like I see that cryptocurrency needs to be marketed on a mass scale and on
Yeah.
a real world level as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And I thought about these tattoos is a real world asset that could be tokenized as an NFT. So how
Exactly.
about let's do that? You know what I mean? And like I said, now less than a year later, I'm here, and like it's my first convention, but like I'm soaking up more information and stuff than most people. You know what I mean? And like I'm seeing what you're saying. I agree 100% about how it's harder to get in development, and we need more
Right.
marketing for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I think like in the next decade, like what you've been saying, like, and especially the youth, the students, they will be the ones who need to come up with this innovation, of which we, try to focus on other things, like you say, like more like the real world assets, bringing in like people doing marketing and scale the whole movement globally. I mean, the current generation is like more focused on keep it closed and developing, and and we're gonna build nice stuff, but we don't know how to put it out or to scale. I mean,
Right.
it's clearly that like we are not able with the current generation to scale it to billions of users. So
Right.
I mean, we need to invest a lot in the youth, in students, in everyone, to give them opportunities, to come up with great ideas to help this making happen. So
Yeah, and I'm glad I got you guys together on this one because, again, I mean, very different projects, but same mentality.
And y'all both
we wanna-
young too, like
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
both wanna
exactly.
target this audience
Yeah.
because, again, there's not a lot of people doing that, which is weird to me. Because for me, I did a lot of work in gaming from like 2021 to 2024. I mean, I still do gaming stuff, but with the gaming community, my whole thing was, and my thoughts were, is like, why aren't we really pushing this more to younger people playing the games? It's like, granted, games are for all ages. We saw that during COVID.
Yeah.
Massive boom in the gaming industry in general. I mean, it outgrew entertainment and sports combined. You're talking about multi-billion-dollar industries. During COVID, there were more people spending money on games than there were watching sports and watching movies and things like that. Booming industry. So what that told us was that you have a lot of people around the world of all ages who want to spend money to have fun.
right.
And so Web3 gaming made sense because it's like, okay, cool. People are going to spend money not to make money, not to get paid. There are very few people actually monetizing the gaming industry. They're doing it for pure entertainment and fun. And so it's like, well, Web3 has the incentive to give them the ability to extrapolate some of that value back out. Not in a way where you have to, but hey, by choice, if you want the money you put in, you can get it back out.
yeah, and also like to kind of like preserve their privacy. I mean, and to give them full self-custody. That was the whole point. So like that no authority or banks have like control about what you're doing there.
Yeah.
And I feel like that kind of message the people don't really get globally. I mean, they still feel like, oh, yeah, crypto, you can trade coins, and I mean, but mostly they relate it to like, oh yeah, but there are scams there, or it's
Right.
dangerous, and
Yeah.
oh yeah, I joined once, but I lost all my money, and then I left again.
Yeah.
This is most of the stories actually. So I mean, if we can bridge that way to like what you just have been saying, I think we can make great moves in like a short period of time.
Yeah.
It's also I totally agree with almost all of this. It's just very difficult to push like Ethereum or just blockchain in general, mainly
Yeah.
because like people are satisfied with what it is. Like
Right.
They cool with a dollar. Yeah.
I'm cool
Yeah.
with the dollar.
Dollars
I'm still,
work,
I'm
yeah.
still cool with my bank.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I know
There's-
my money's going to be there, and
Yep.
maybe they got my records.
Yeah.
And I agree that I probably should care more about my privacy.
Right.
But like, I sacrifice privacy for convenience. Like,
100%.
I can go to the ATM
Yep.
machine. I can call up the customer support. So this is why I think it's such a big problem. It's like
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
for like what, like almost like 50 years now, people have been doing pushing the same agenda.
Yeah.
And then you got to like wake these sleeper cells where it's like, this isn't what is the best case
Right,
scenario.
yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that's
and I
the worst
totally
case
agree.
scenario. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. Like,
Yeah, and also like you
watching
say, like with the banks, I mean, you can always be sure your money will be still there. Like you can call support. I mean,
Yes.
It's
customer
safe.
support.
of course, you know, they have your records and everything, but, and then this is a big problem with the crypto space and with Ethereum and other blockchains as well. You can lose funds. You can, I mean, your whole life can be ruined on the blockchain if you do things
By
wrong.
one mistake.
So it's not
One
yet at the
letter
level.
wrong.
Exactly, but it's not yet. It's not yet
wrong
at the
address,
level.
fuck.
It's not yet at the level that even if you can onboard like everyone and the normies and people that if you let them free, that they are gonna be fully safe. I mean,
Yeah.
they can come back and say, "But you ruined my life." I mean, I lost all my funds there. For scams or everything, or yeah, I bridged to the wrong wallet and my funds are lost for my whole time. So
So let me ask you this, and this is a question for everybody, but would you hold your custody in a like hardware wallet, or personally, I don't trust myself enough to do that, or a hot wallet? I would rather hold it in like a SEX, like Coinbase
Yeah.
or Gemini, or like some trusted exchange, not like FTX, like something that's like institutionalized, as opposed to putting in a hardware wallet.
Me personally, I keep my crypto, my Bitcoin Cash, my BCH. I keep it on a Selene wallet as a non-custodial wallet, and when I want to transfer it to fiat, then I transfer it to a Venmo exchange. But other than that, I hold my crypto on a non-custodial wallet, Selene wallet.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
What about you?
well, yeah, I mean, I have some experience with hardware wallets, but I kind of get the point what you mean. And also the reason why I think you say this is like,
It's meaning just like I don't trust myself enough. Like
Yeah.
I'm
Exactly.
gonna do something small and it's just not worth it.
Right.
yeah, exactly. And I think also this is the case for many, many people. I mean, I think 90% of the crypto users that are in at the moment are using exchanges because
Right.
it feels safe for them. It's easy to use,
Yeah.
super accessible
It's
to bring
familiar
fiat in.
Yeah.
in a sense.
To
a
bring
bank.
fiat again out. There is already kind of a good support to help you if there is a problem or anything. And even like, yeah, if you go deeper and deeper into the space where you get like to work with hardware wallets, multi-sig and everything, and DeFi wallets, it's kind of getting more difficult and it's fully your responsibility.
Right.
If you do something wrong,
It's your fault.
It's your fault.
You can't blame
Exactly.
nobody else.
So at
Everybody
this
wants
point,
somebody to blame.
I mean,
Unless you track the wallet.
Yeah.
I believe, but there's one thing. I believe there is maybe going to be a future in which some of these things are going to change.
Yeah.
And it's going to be accessible for everyone, and it is going to be safe, and it is going to work like the same experience as you have with the exchange.
Yeah.
Which might change again a lot of things, but because also like the exchanges, the bad side on the meta is like they control you also a lot at the same
Right.
time. They control the tokens. They control the volume and everything.
Right.
So yes, it's safe for users, but you also kind of be controlled. So what my suggestion is for the future is like if we can bring DeFi and everything that's like decentralized with the same experience as banks and exchange, combine those two and make it actually work in the future. That's gonna be, I think, the best outcome. But again, this is very, very hard to do and not something that's gonna happen
100%.
tomorrow.
And so, I mean, again, I've been in crypto for 15 years. I love the idea of self-custody, but for me, I don't really feel like I have enough money or funds to protect it in that manner. I like the convenience and the ease of use because I spend my crypto. I don't hold it. Again, it's just like, it's functional for me. And so I agree. That is one of the biggest issues is that self-custody isn't pretty. It is, and right now, even it can be easy-ish, but it's not, simple. And that is an issue because if you make one mistake, it's done. And I think the biggest problem, with the whole centralization versus decentralization is that people don't realize, like, we can never get away from centralization in a sense. Because, you look at, like you mentioned, like customer support. There's no customer support for decentralized things.
No.
But centralization, there's, and people want that. They want somebody to talk to, explain to them, and blame.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
think-
Well, there is some sort of like medium between like I think honestly I'm not a big fan of DAOs. I think there's a lot of flaws in them. But I do see the power in like not necessarily decentralization, but like community
Right.
discussion.
Yeah.
So like honestly, if like I ever started a company, a DAO would more so focus between like split between like products and then like trajectory. So like if I create if I let the product in the hands of like my token holders and they say, oh, like, strip away this part, that's just not, I'm the builder, I want to choose what happens.
Right.
However, how I manipulate that product to put money into it, I think that's up in the air. So there's like a I don't know what the right recipe is, like the percentages, but there's a right recipe between like centralization, decentralization, and then like, just self-input.
Yeah. That's cool. So real quick, we're going to take a little pause to hop into this commercial from one of our sponsors, Got Soul Pay. Check them out. They're providing payment solutions on Solana for USDC and USDT, and we'll be right back. So,
1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Here we go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4.
all right, we're back. Let's get back on it. And so, no, I agree with all these things because, like I said, I've been in this for 15 years, and for me, the easiest thing to use is Coinbase. Now, what I've talked about for several years is the kind of the merger between the decentralization of self-custody and the centralization of banks. And as much as people hate it, or the idea of it, we need the banks to participate. It should be an optional thing to have somebody else custody your crypto, but you have the opportunity and the option to self-custody it yourself. And so, kind of like with MetaMask, now they've made it to where you can create a MetaMask wallet, you sign it with your Google account. You don't have to have your private keys.
Well, they have
but
been
if you want 'em-
doing a great job on this, and I mean, this is the development that we need.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would like to see the banks participate, but I want to say one thing, not in the way they're doing it now.
Right.
So like by just, oh yeah, we're gonna offer a bunch of assets, like it's like the stocks, and
Right.
but we are gonna own your wallet. You don't get to send transactions to other people. It's just we own everything, and you just can buy the asset, sell the asset. Many of the Euro banks are just building that and nothing else.
Right.
So yes, I agree, but if done in the right way, and
Yeah,
that's what
absolutely.
we should push forward for.
Same, and that's where I think the banks should give you the opportunity to buy, sell the crypto and custody it for you if you'd want. But then again, like again with the MetaMask wallet, you sign it with your Google account, you have the wallet, you're there. But if you want to get the private keys, like we did, we set him up the other day, and he signed up with his wallet. He got in, and then he went to go get his recovery keys and his private keys to access that, so that way he does have custody of it. So I like the optional, because for some people, they may not want to self-custody. Like I said, it might be too much, might be too worrisome, so they might choose the option to have it be custodied by the banks. But again, like you're saying, there needs to be some kind of merger, some kind of future where the banks give you the option that, hey, we will provide the security and the protection and the customer support, but if you want to, learn how to self-custody, we'll give you the private keys, we'll give you the ability to remove your crypto, own your keys, and also on top of that, they should also provide the education and the content for it. Teach you how to self-custody your stuff.
That's the biggest problem. I feel many people go out, try it out, and then eventually they find it out by failing. But what does that mean?
Yeah.
Failing, you lose funds. No, but
Right,
it is the
right.
truth.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, that's also how
Yeah.
I found out about everything. And I think whatever we are going to do, whatever it's going to be, for everything there should be better education, better support, better onboarding, better UX.
Yeah,
and
better marketing.
Exactly. And if you can do that, and like I said, kind of like, it's maybe fun, but like kind of explain everything like it's a 5-year-old, like so that there can be no mistake made.
Right.
And if we can do that in a proper way, I think that would be already a major step. But we're not yet at that. I mean, many projects, they are just trying to scale our product, again, like filling on the developer side and not caring about that much. I mean, they overseeing it a bit, I think.
Yeah, exactly, and that's where the rub is. moving from, oh, we want to be completely decentralized and do our own
Yeah.
stuff, like it was 7 years ago, to where it's like, we want them to do everything for us, to where it's like that medium where it's like, we need these institutions to get involved, but they also need to give opportunities for people to learn and how to do their own things. And I think, hopefully the next several years we'll see more of that. But I'm a big fan of using marketing content to educate. And that's where, I work in. That's the kind of work that Double O's been doing. Again, he came from not knowing any crypto to using his skill set and finding his place in this niche and capitalizing on it.
For sure.
And I think a lot of people can do that, but there's not a lot of opportunity for them to understand that hey, you don't have to learn the specific things. You just have to take what you're already doing, what you're already good at, and then find the opportunity in blockchain, within blockchain. Kind of like you with the students, the hackathon things, finding your opportunity where, how can we apply blockchain to this, not how can we apply this to blockchain.
Exactly.
And so let me ask you, so what's been your experience, as you're working with students in college? Because how has it been, the feedback, is everybody you're talking to is just like, oh yeah, we love this, want to do it, or is oh, we don't care, or what is that like?
Meaning their sentiment on...
Yeah, when you're reaching new students or you're connecting with them, how has that been building that community?
So, unfortunately, it's, like I said the word sentiment, but it's very sentiment-based.
Yeah.
Especially on Purdue campus, recently, whether that's the administration, the prices, or just the technology, whatever it is, blockchain is becoming more it's kind of like a fad, digital assets, all of a sudden, RWA is the furthest term they know, but they hear Bitcoin is obviously something big, and then especially because a lot of it's still this industry pipeline of go to investment banking, private equity,
right.
Private credit, all these different things, and then the next step is we just said, all the banks are getting involved. So I don't know. I kind of feel like it's a shame that it's going that way, because it's just a continuous. It's just continuing the cycle of what we already have. I think it's so much more valuable when we're in an environment like this, where companies don't necessarily come to you, because there's hundreds of blockchains, and you can choose what you want to build on. You can choose what your niche is. It can be gaming, artwork, development work, really anything. So I think what I really pushed at Boiler Blockchain at Purdue is just creating a very, very united but competitive culture.
Yeah.
So there's no sense of oh, I'm going to get the better internship, I'm going to get the better job, I'm going to build a better thing. It's we all win, we all push hard, and when everybody wins, that's when we can chill out, relax, and have fun. Which is kind of a medium between not even decentralization, but a medium between Web3 culture, where everybody's super nice. I mean, we're out here in hoodies, jackets, got my Doge. Yeah, if we showed up to
shout out on the Doge,
BlackRock's, dinner, we'd be clowned.
Yeah.
Which is
I've been to stuff like that, and
really?
It was awesome. Oh yeah, but only because to be a clown, not
okay.
as, but yeah.
But yeah, I just think it's ridiculous that they set these standards. And the biggest thing that I tell people is that when they join the club, because the club is 115 people now, it's if you want to become the senior executive or the senior developer, doesn't matter if you're 20, 25, and the head guy's 40. If you're better, you work harder, you're more passionate, you're going to get the job. It's as simple as that.
Exactly. I think, and this comes down to community movement. I feel the whole blockchain world could scale purely based on community efforts. Not the classic pyramid system where you have the CEO and everything, and they were dressed in a good suit and everything, and otherwise you're not welcome and stuff. No, community, everyone together, like you said, we all win together, and the persons who do the hardest, job, would do their absolute best, they should deserve the chances.
Yeah. It's very difficult to break this stigma though, because
exactly.
Once you're in the cool club, once you're in the high end FANG and that,
you don't want to get out.
You want to stay in,
Yeah.
Everybody else is oh, can we get there? And you stay in.
Exactly.
But that's not iterative innovation.
Right.
You got to iterate fast. That's what startups are about. Move fast, break faster.
And I think one of the biggest problem that I've seen for me is the incentivization. There is no incentive for anybody to use crypto, really, as far as unless you're an institution or, like you said, you have some specific industry that fits in this niche. There's no incentive to be hey, you don't know about Bitcoin, go buy Bitcoin so you could go spend it, or go buy Bitcoin so you could hold it, not pay your bills with it, so you can just sit on it. And so for students, there's even less incentive. And I think that's the issue, is trying to create the incentive and wrap it in something that's attractive to them. So be hey, you know what, for students, the incentive is you can learn this emerging technology and start to build a career for yourself. You know, like you're saying, you have a future because these jobs are being created today.
100%.
These industries we see, like you said, the BlackRocks, the Vanguards, the JP Morgans, the government, they don't have people who are knowledgeable enough in these industries roles to actually be effective. And the thing that I'm seeing that's going to be a big problem is when a lot of these businesses start to employ more positions that have crypto, that are crypto related, there's not going to be anybody there to fill those jobs besides like people like me who have been in this. But it's like, again, it's not for me. We need more people to graduate from college with education in these fields, so that way when these jobs are available, they could fill these positions and start to build things out. And so I think for me, the incentive for students is that why learn in a competitive industry of everything else when there's blockchain, you know, obviously it's for people who love this kind of technology or knowledge, but learning in this industry where right now it's so niche that when these jobs are created, there's gonna be so much abundance and opportunity that you could find a job, and like you said, you could move up quick if you're good at what you do and you're willing to work hard.
The industry's, it's just so early.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it moves very fast, and like I honestly believe like in like 5 years, like every single student will be able to pay tuition with USDC.
Yeah.
But or like have a wallet on their back end for loans or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But and I tell them all the time, I said, like, you're gonna regret not like posting about Denver because in 5 years, or like getting the free NFT because in 5 years, like you're gonna be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I had a wallet in 2025, 2026, whatever it is.
And so speaking of incentives, I mean, so I feel like that's where Double O's done a lot of good work, because he's found a way to create incentives. Like, so tell us a little about that, your experience with your way of onboarding people, because almost everybody you've tattooed, majority of them have been non-crypto native, non-crypto users, maybe even barely crypto curious. I am a happy, proud owner of a Bitcoin Cash tattoo that he's done. I can't show it right now because this is a giant onesie, but most of the people he's been tattooing have nothing to do with crypto. So like, let us know how effective and like the responses you get and how you what you do.
Well, for most people like that don't know about crypto, they're like very curious because they see me and they realize I'm not the typical crypto person. Most people that they see in crypto space don't have anything to do with the culture, anything. So when they see me and they talk to me, I'm telling them I can give them a free Bitcoin Cash tattoo. They like, hold up. First of all, free. I'm all ears. You know what I mean?
Incentive number one.
Exactly.
Free. People like to do that.
So for sure. So that gets the hook. And then I get to reel them in with the Bitcoin, and then mind that in the process of me to give them the tattoo, I'm also educating them as well. You know what I mean? So the tattoo turns into pretty much an interview, and me asking them about what they know about crypto, and me telling them what they should know about crypto. And it's been really receptive because, like, now after that, now the thing is, well, how can I spend it? How can I get some more? And my thing is, okay, don't focus on trying to invest in it. Focus on trying to receive it, earn it, use it, use it. Because that's what it is currency. People look at it too much as an investment tool. Yeah. And they forget about the fact that the original purpose was to be a currency. Use it. You spend it. And that's all I've been doing is trying to get people in that mindset. But the fact that it's a lot early, it's not many places that we can spend our cryptocurrency. Right. That's a little backlash I'm getting, but it's just more about the numbers, you know what I mean? I did 70 Bitcoin Cash tattoos, and from those 70, I'm pretty sure each one of those persons, has probably onboarded another 5 people, you know what I mean? Exactly. Because they see that tattoo and be like, hey, wait a minute, what's that about? And then they go on from there.
I think exactly, this is the whole point. Like, the tech is great, but to onboard people, you need community, you need culture. Yeah. Like what he has been doing, more people should do that. Like the whole tattoo section is like, it's a kind of culture, Yeah. And by connecting with people like that are in the same culture, you can onboard more people.
Exactly.
And also like something I want to say is like things like AI are a super hot narrative right now.
Yeah.
But one thing that AI will never be able to do is connect like with real humans, like human values, the culture of human values. And that's something really important. And also I think this is because people say, oh yeah, but with AI, like a lot of jobs are gonna be gone and vanish. But I think we can create a whole lot of new jobs that will have the task, to spread this culture, build this community of movements, and onboard people in that way. We need people, that's the thing. AI agents, they cannot, they can help the process, but they're not gonna onboard people because you're not feeling connected to them.
Yeah.
Real humans.
No emotional.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that, of course, like the space the tech, it needs the tech, it needs AI, it needs everything, but culture is so important. And that's also one thing I want to stand in for to scale up. And I mean, you've been doing a great job, I heard about that. So just continue doing it. Try to bring more people into it. Even like, people that are not working with tattoos, but it could be something totally else also,
Exactly.
And that's the whole thing. And if we can build like a whole chain of that and more people attached to that, and if you be able to continue that community growth, then more people will tune in, and then it's gonna grow and grow. Like, that's the way I see it going.
I think sometimes too, like another culture is like the artistic NFT culture.
Exactly.
But like, I don't know, like when I think of NFTs, I understand there's the artistic aspect to it, but like when money's involved in like just pushing money and prices and selling and buying, it just kind of degrades the quality of like culture.
100%.
So I don't know, there's just like how do you kind of like create a culture without people just EVing the money and extracting all of the resources from it? Thankfully I don't think in the tattoo industry, like people are like buying and selling, I don't even know, like, you tell me, is there some sort of like, shady, not even shady, but like, is there some sort of like aspect of the tattoo industry where people are trying to like undermine or take advantage of other people? I don't think so, because there isn't that opportunity.
Right, yeah, no, I mean, the only opportunity for taking advantage would be maybe like price gouging or something like that, if I know that you're an inexperienced, consumer of tattoos, and I could charge you a lot more than the next artist would, and you don't know no better, then you'd pay it. Yeah. But other than that, I don't.
Anything like on chain, like regarding, I guess, like the tokenization aspect of it, like, do you ever feel like you're trying to sell your token or price or product better than somebody else's?
Not at all. Not at all. It's mind you, for one, I'm giving away free Bitcoin tattoos. So like when I do decide to, if you want to pay me for a tattoo other than a Bitcoin Cash tattoo, then, and I tell them, hey, you pay me in Bitcoin Cash, maybe there's opportunity for, distrust, whatever, but I give them the information on how to purchase Bitcoin Cash, and then I teach them how to send it, but that's about it.
Well, the thing is, like, I can give another example, like a part of tattoos. Like, I know a few people, and they had like an art exhibition last year here, which they're tokenizing through NFTs. And the thing is, like, so what they have been doing is like, they act as if they would just sell it on the open market, like or offer it in their own shop or something. And they just put the price of the working hours and a little bit of profit for themselves. And people were actually interested by it. That's the whole purpose of it. So not like, oh yeah, we're gonna buy the NFT and then we're gonna try to list it again and for a high price and extracting and etc. Like you had with the NFT 2022 situation. Absolutely not. Like what we want to bring is like actual real value to the NFT platforms. Also the way, that's why they were designed initially. And to give real artists a chance to publish their works on there, sell it for a fair price, and reach people that want to buy, like the audience that's going to buy it, to actually have it, and not just trying to sell it immediately for a bigger price or anything.
Well, that's what I feel like. Like NFTs just feel diluted. They just feel like people are trying to move it for money, not for the sake of artwork.
Exactly, and that's the way we should go more to. But of course, like, it's hard to do. But I mean, I feel like there's getting some progress in there since 2022 especially. But it's going to take a while still, because also it's not, if you do it like that way, like you described, it's not a hype anymore, you know? And so it's going to be taking a longer term for more people to use it. But I think that's the right way to do it.
Yeah, and as we wrap things up here, we'll do some last minute things here in the next few minutes. But I just want to say one last thing. But I think that is the problem, the way the culture started out, we had a very good core foundation of what we wanted, especially with Satoshi's vision of the white paper, cashless society using peer-to-peer, community-based, community-forward. And so I think as the money has been coming, the profit-driven ideals have come in, it has detracted from that. And as you said, we've seen it, it's happened. We've moved away from that culture, from that community. It's not gone completely, For me, that was what set me in my foundation of what I do, is like community first, community forward, like that's what it's about, because there's more of us than there are of them as far as like the industries, like we have empowerment of working with each other and supporting each other and building with each other. And we've seen it time to time where groups come in, they run some scam, and what does the community do? The community outs them and refuses to participate in what they're doing anymore. We can do that with any industry. We can do that against any corporation, any bank, any government. The government may be doing what they're doing, and if we don't like what they're doing, we don't have to do what they're doing. We have the option to do others. And so I think in this time period, what is needed is a reset of the mindset, going back to the basics, and that's something that I've been, really pushing hard, even in the content that I want to make, that I want to do, is back to the basics. The technology is great, it's been moving, it's evolving, but the mindset needs to go back. We need to take a few steps back, because a lot of people are building for the future, they're future forward, but I think the problem is we're getting too far. We're putting the cart before the horse, and we need to go back where we get, back to the foundation of what we are doing here, why we came in. And I think for a lot of the community after the NFT, that culture, they didn't get the opportunity to be in that culture. They didn't get the opportunity to understand that foundation, because where they jumped in was like, oh yeah, money, and then the meme coins came, oh yeah, pump, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so as we wrap things up, go ahead if you'd like, drop any socials, websites, and then just give us like your 1 minute pitch of, like what is your main goal that you want, what do you want to get out of this experience at ETH Denver?
Yeah, well, first off, this has been super cool.
Yeah, thanks for coming, by the way, y'all.
Random, but I think this is literally the point of ETH Denver, is to meet new people,
Yeah.
do new things.
Right.
So, Boiler Blockchain, I'm the president. Eli Dubitz, if you're following me on Twitter or website, really, we're all over the place. And then I think what I'm most trying to push at ETH Denver is really to show that Boiler Blockchain, we're bringing 60 people, and I really want to show people that we are creating the greatest source of talent. And talent is very hard to curate, and it takes time, but the hackathon is it's more than just a hackathon. It's the culture, it's the competitiveness, it's the unity, and that's what we're coming here to do. It's just to show everybody, let's host a side event, let's meet people, let's win, and then let's go international next year.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, exactly. For me, a bit the same. I mean, just what we've been talking about the whole time, meeting new people, actually trying to convince people to go a few steps back. Hey, we need to do this, build this community, build this global movement. We need to work better together with everyone. I mean, the whole purpose of ETH Denver is that, especially in the US and people coming from outside of the US, that we need to work with everyone better together to scale things up. And I mean, this podcast, for example, is a great example of how we can do that. And I mean, I've been overall had a great experience so far. So I'm looking forward to do more stuff here. And yeah, for people that want to find more about us, Book of Ethereum. So my X is CryptoTarzan19. On Telegram, shibatarzan.boo.eth, and the website is thebookofeth.xyz. So thanks for having me.
Awesome. Yeah, we appreciate y'all having. And Double O, go ahead and hit him with some enlightenment. Do your thing.
Yeah, you know what it is, man. Like I said, once again, it's Double O Tats back at you. The Black James Bond with the tattoo gun, sponsored by Bitcoin Cash, and I'm here with Miggy on the podcast. I appreciate you having me, bro. Shout out to everybody with the Bitcoin Cash community. Shout out to Ken Bozak. Shout out to God Soul. We about to do that God Soul tattoo tonight, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, now,
yes,
all
sir.
right.
They're going to be
Really?
super surprised.
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I brought
And
all my
this is
equipment,
recorded, so
tattoos
they
all
won't
night.
know until next week.
Yeah.
Do you
Okay.
plan out the designs, or it's just
Nope. You
Yeah.
send it to all. He could create them. You send it to him. He can modify them. He does it on the spot,
Holy
and
shit.
bam.
Is it like crypto designs, or you could do anything?
Anything.
Yeah. I mean, as far as free that I'm sponsored to give away, Bitcoin Cash. You know what I'm saying?
But
Pretty
he's a
much, though.
tattoo artist,
Yeah,
so he
yeah.
does
You're also an
anything.
artist, though.
Yeah. I've
yeah,
been actually 18 years.
Yeah,
before I
I'll
even
show
got
you
into crypto.
I'll show you my tattoo after he completely
Matter of
designed
fact,
it
yeah.
himself. Yeah.
Well, maybe to show all how much we believe in this space, we should get a big major crypto tattoo.
Yeah, why not?
We never can escape again.
But yeah, appreciate y'all coming. Like I said, our sponsors, Got Soul Pay, Blockchain Legal Institute, Not Another Bitcoin Podcast, and this is the layer 2 version of that. This is the Beyond Blocks podcast. And so
Amazing.
we'll definitely catch you guys on the next one. Happy ETH Denver. We'll see y'all.
Check it out.